Man, the Roman Greco New Year is in. Man, it's time to burn bridges. First and foremost, man, I want to give a huge shout out and thanks, and let you know how much I appreciate the brothers that have been rocking with the Set Apart Man YouTube channel since day one. This channel is about 2.5 months old, and all the growth has been organic. Nothing trying to pay to get views, YouTube promotions, none of that. This has been 100% organic growth. And man, I want to thank each and every brother out there that has subscribed to this channel. Man, you are going to be the foundation of this channel. And, I have other channels out here, Rocker Family Homestead, Closer to Yah Ministries, and those channels, I've had those channels, my homesteading channel I've had for like 2 years now, 3 years now. Closer to Yah Ministry, that's 5-6-year-old channel, and one of them's at 50,000, subscribers, other one's at 13,000. And those are not the only YouTube channels that I've had over the years. But, man, I just want to thank you and let you know how appreciative I am for brothers that this is, exactly what I need, man. It's time for me to tune into something that's going to help me navigate this world. And that's what this channel is for. But, I want to talk to men today about burning bridges silently. See, there's people in your life from 2025 that when you think about a bridge, let me break down this concept. A bridge in economics or a bridge in commerce is, it connects two land masses that would not be connected via land, or it makes it more convenient to get to another landmass, i.e. there's a river separating it, or something like that. Maybe there's a lake, maybe there's something stopping you, and it take you a lot longer. But a bridge, in commerce is something that allows, buying and selling. It allows a transaction. It allows for commute, for passengers. Passengers can go from one area to another. Hey, shalom, shalom, brother, shalom. And when I'm talking about burning bridges silently in this new Roman New Year, man, when we look at 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse, 1-5, and it talks about in the last days, perilous or difficult times will come. People will be lovers of self, greedy, blasphemous. Then you get down to verse 5, and it tells you to avoid such people. Man, that is something a set apart man must be comfortable with doing. Maybe it's you need to cleanse your social media. Maybe the people that you have been following, or you constantly watch are posting things that's not good for your walk as a man. So you got to go on there and unfriend and unfollow these people. Okay. Maybe on your Facebook friends, man, you've got people, promoting all kind of idolatry, all kind of abominations, all kind of stuff that doesn't align with the lifestyle of a set apart man. Man, it's time to burn those bridges silently. And when I say burn a bridge silently, I'm not talking about throw gasoline, let people know you're putting C4 on the bridge and, I'm about to blow this mother flipper up, not like that. Man, you have some people that know how to control a fire. And when you control a fire or a controlled burn, you don't want it to have a big flame. You want it to get down to where, it's turning into ashes, but yet it's slowly still burning. Yet it's slowly still doing the job. And you want it to where there's not a big flame on that bridge. You don't want to make a whole lot of noise. You don't need to. But yet you can see the redness of the embers in there slowly doing its job, burning that bridge down. Man, there's people in life. Let me break this down as a man. People look at good men, set apart men, for their resources, women, family, and other men. Man, there is somebody right now that you have a bridge with, they have lived their best life in 2025. You've been trying to save. You've been trying to get right financially. You've been trying to get right spiritually. You've been trying to get right in so many areas. And the only thing, when they look across, whether it be a river or a lake, when they look across and they see you and they see that bridge connected, to you and them, the only thing they see is a resource. And this is why some people, when you see them, okay, maybe it's when somebody out the blue sends you a text message. Maybe it's when somebody is calling your phone and you recognize the contact. Deep down in your conscience, they're not calling to pour into you. They're calling because they need something. They're calling because you are an asset in your life, but they're the liability. Man, it's time to cut people off. It's time to burn the bridge silently. Okay, think about this. Think about you as a man. So let's say, for instance, man, you don't have the skill set to build your own house. So you're saving up everything you can, man, to be able to buy your house outright cash. You're saving up for a down payment. And here's the thing. You've possibly told people that this is what you're doing. And because of that, that's the only reason they come across the bridge, because they know you've got a pool of money. They know you've got it. And you really don't have a heart to say no. And for this reason, man, they're going to use and abuse you. Men, if you've got men in your circle who are habitual fornicators and not trying to repent for that lifestyle, man, you got to cut them off. Because, man, you can tell a man's future by the company he keeps. If you're a young man, surrounding yourself with Yah-fearing, commandment-keeping men, righteous, set-apart men, man, it's only a matter of time before you're following in the footsteps in the likeness of, in order to fulfill the will of the Most High Yah. But if you're hanging around the lawless, the iniquity workers, men that are plumb fools, if you're hanging around these men that don't have a fear of the Most High Yah, the book tells you to avoid such people. You have to burn the bridge. Let me break this down for another way. Men, if you're entertaining a woman who does not see the vision, meaning you're on a vision, man, you want marriage, you want family, and for some reason, man, there's something holding her back from seeing the vision. Man, you shouldn't be begging a woman to marry you. You shouldn't be begging a woman to submit to you. You shouldn't be begging a woman to understand that marriage is righteous. It's time to burn these bridges silently. As a man, you control access to relationships. When you think about it in the eyes of the Most High Yah, you control access to marriage. It's a man that takes a wife. A wife don't take a husband. No. Men, 2026, man, go through your phone, man. If you got women that don't really want anything serious and the only thing they want is you dicking them down, digging them out, they want to fornicate, man, cut them off. Burn the bridge. Burn the bridge, man. It's time, to experience growth like you never have before. And oftentimes, the company we keep is the reason why we don't experience the growth that we're supposed to, and also why we continue to fail the same test over and over again. And remedial training, doesn't seem to work because you're hanging around the same plumb fools. Here's another one that's very difficult for people is family. Man, you have to burn bridges with family. You've got family out there that's burned you over and over and over again, and they've chosen not to repent. They've chosen not to take accountability. They don't even acknowledge what they've done to you, but yet you keep that bridge open to them. And when next time you see them coming across that bridge, I want you to understand there's a 99% chance they're going to burn you again because you keep that bridge up. Here's the difference, man. When you burn the bridge silently, you're not making a whole bunch of noise. It's just while these people are scheming and plotting, plotting on doing wickedness and foolishness, that bridge is slowly falling apart. And one day they're going to realize, dang, man, there's water separating us. Where did this bridge go? And this is how you got to move. Once you've burned that bridge silently, man, you act like you don't, when it comes to friends and acquaintances, man, you got to act like you don't even know these people. Because here's another one. When you keep that bridge up, people will go a long time between them needing you and being a liability in your life. They're not an asset. And if you keep that bridge up, what will happen is, man, they will want to rekindle old moments. But on your end, man, there ain't been really no good moments. It's been, you've been getting used and abused for your resources, your time. So if you allow that bridge to stay up, they're going to come across it and say, hey, man, you remember when? Man, I ain't seen you in a long time. Let's catch up. No, burn the bridge. Burn the bridge. If they're not an asset in your life in the last year, last 2 years, man, burn the bridge. You got some of these people, that they never have anything to pour into anybody's cup. You're the one pouring everything out of your cup into theirs. And when your cup is empty, when your cup is drained, when you're having your well moment like Messiah, man, they don't offer any words of encouragement. They don't offer any comfort. Man, they can't do anything for you. And oftentimes, this is the life that, a set apart man lives. You got in today's daytime and hour, man, you look at a lot of these families, man, you might only have 1 or 2 good men in that family that are set apart, that are strong, that are really about their business. And guess what? The rest of the family uses them and abuses them. When it comes to family, man, you've got blood family, carnal family, and then you've got family covered in the blood. I tell you, man, I've experienced more growth in life with family that is covered in the blood, family that is born again, men that are Yah-fearing and commandment keeping, than I have with blood family on the carnal side. I'll tell you that. I've learned way more about righteousness and how to navigate this world by, surrounding myself with men that fear the Most High Yah, keep his commandments, men that aren't just lip service worshipers. Man, when you look at 2 Timothy chapter 3 and you go to around 5 and 6 or 4 through 6, it says somewhere in there, these people have a form of godliness, but deny the power of. When it comes to religious people who are disobedient to the word of the Most High Yah, reject what the book says because they're so submitted to their religion, burn the bridge. Burn the bridge. You got to burn bridges with people that are comforted by lies if you want to walk in truth. Ecclesiasticus, the book of Sirach, says strive for truth until death. It makes it very difficult to strive for truth if you got people constantly trying to keep the lie alive. And Hasatan knows he needs people to keep the lie alive. Man, if you want to experience more growth than you ever have, you got to burn bridges silently. Cut people off that are toxic in your life, people that have caused you a lot of pain, and constantly are using you as their doormat, using you as their ATM, using you as their resource. Man, like I said, there's people that's got your email, there's people that's got your phone number, there's people that's got your social media. When you see that phone ringing, you hesitate to answer because you know what time they're on. They're on usury time. They're on manipulate time. They're on deceive time. Man, you got to burn that bridge. Burn that bridge. And then if you do come across these people and see them out and about, i.e. with family, you can't do that. But when it comes to just friends and acquaintances and random people, man, you see these people out and about, no need to wave, no need to acknowledge or anything. Let them think you're somebody that looks like somebody that they used to know, and you go on about your business. You're not obligated to keep this bridge up with people. And that's one thing we have a hard time do. Man, we'll go out of our way to keep that bridge up. We'll maintain the bridge. We'll be repainting the bridge. We'll make sure it's structurally sound. But guess what? You're putting that bridge out there, ensuring it's structurally sound. It's nice and beautiful. So every time these people come, rather than working out their own problems, they say, man, let me just walk 100 feet across this bridge and get the good old set apart brother to help me out in this situation, because they don't want to figure out their problems. We're in the last days where society is going to be extremely broke because they don't want to live according to the ways of the Most High Yah. Man, when I started living set apart out here on the land, growing my own food, raising my own cattle and things like that, I had to have it in my plan to where I know how much food I grow. I know how much meat I raise. And you have to think about it. If things get tough and people can't go to the grocery store and get meat, there's going to be people calling, if they know what you do, thinking that they can come across that bridge and eat up all your food. And then once it's all gone, move on to the next. They have nothing to benefit. They don't want to work. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to invest their time. They don't want to live righteous. They're looking to freeload. And for that reason, you have to burn the bridge. I got a handful of people that if they call me and said, hey, I'm, my family is struggling. We need X, Y, and Z. These are people that are Yah-fearing and commandment keeping that I would allow into my life. But the rest of them, I don't give a dang. Blood family, day one, I don't give a dang. Cutting dudes off. A lot of you men keep men in your life that live by a street code. They don't live by the code of the Most High Yah. And this for that reason, if something were to happen and your life were on the line and all they had to do was call 911 to get you some help so you could live, the street code says they can't call. Man, cut these men that want to live like ninjas. Cut them off. Cut them off. Burn the bridge silently. Because, man, these are the same people you're dragging with you year after year, Roman year after year, and you're experiencing no growth. Okay, man, when it comes to people that love keeping these worldly holidays and they say, oh, I know the truth and I know we ain't supposed to and all of this, man, cut them off. Burn the bridge. Because guess what? Every time they come across that bridge, guess what's not coming across that bridge also? The truth is not with them. They're promoting the lie. They're promoting Hasatan. They're promoting deception. You see, man, when you think about the biblical New Year is actually in spring. But I didn't learn high levels of divine wisdom, until I got around people that had done the same thing that I'm giving you, the same thing that I'm telling you. Your carnal family is not the same as family that's covered by the blood of Hamashiach. Those are two different. Just because they go to church, just because they sound religious, just because they lips say that they love the Lord and they love all of this, man, oftentimes these people have a form of godliness they deny the power of. They honor him with their lips, but their heart far from him. Time to burn bridges. Man, 2 Timothy chapter 3 tells us to avoid such people. That's not a recommendation. That's not optional for the set apart man. That is an instruction. Avoid such people. If you want to experience growth like you've never experienced before, if you want to learn how to live set apart, if you want to learn how to be more obedient to the will of the Most High Yah, the word of the Most High Yah, and you want to learn how to navigate this wicked world according to righteousness, man, I need you to do me a solid. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the Set Apart Man YouTube channel. And drop a comment down below answering this question. Why do you think men struggle cutting people off who are not good for them in their life? Answer that down in the comments. Let's start the dialogue, and let's doggone for the calendar year of Roman year 2026. Let this be the year that you experience growth like never before. And you're not going to do that by keeping the same people in your life. Once again, this is the Set Apart Man kicking that thing gun barrel straight. And until next time, stay set apart, stay disciplined, and stay in the word of the Most High Yahweh. Thank you for allowing this channel to reach 100 subscribers. Seems small, but it's very big to me. Stay blessed, stay encouraged, stay in the word of the Most High.